The way we consume and share news today, it is largely rooted in social media outlets, a reason why it's crucial to look at what's being discussed online. For our daily social media minute, we're joined by Yerka in the studio. Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday.
All right, let's get started. So if you're a big Star Wars fan, or maybe even if you're not, I think because he had been so iconic, you saw this headline and thought, okay, we need to talk about his legacy.
That's right. American actor James Earl Jones, who is best known for being the voice of the Star Wars villain Darth Vader, has died. He was 93. This news came out yesterday morning, unfortunately, after our segment ended. Yeah. But I did want to talk about his legacy, his life and his career this morning. According to his agent, James Earl Jones died early on Monday morning, surrounded by his family. He starred in dozens of films throughout his career, including Field of Dreams, Coming to America, Conan the Barbarian, The Lion King. But like we mentioned, he was best known for giving the Star Wars supervillain Darth Vader his distinctive, gravelly voice, instantly recognizable. During his career, he won 3 Tony Awards, including and 2 Emmys, a Grammy, as well as an honorary Oscar back in 2011 for Lifetime Achievement. In 1971, he became only the second Black man nominated for an Academy Award for Best Actor after Sidney Poitier. He was also the voice of the American broadcaster CNN's tagline, "This is CNN." And
I thought it was a little bit recognizable.
Yeah. The broadcaster said, quote, "He was the voice of CNN and our brand for many decades, uniquely conveying through speech, instant authority, grace, and decorum. That remarkable voice is just one of many things the world will miss about Jones."
It's rare to be so recognizable by a voice.
That's right.
I think it's
now, Mark Hamill, who played Darth Vader's son Luke Skywalker in Star Wars, posted, "Rest in peace, Dad," with a broken heart emoji as he shared a news report of the death on his social media.
And that's just one of the many outpours of just, again, marking his legacy, great actor. I think it's only appropriate to maybe take a moment to remember his life and parts of his career.
That's right. He was born in Mississippi in 1931. He has shared over and over again the story of his inability to speak for most of his childhood because he had a stammer, and he explained that he developed his famous voice while working on how to deal with his stammer. Isn't that interesting?
You'd be surprised to find some of these stories, and I think the highest grounds of Hollywood, right? You're reborn,
overcoming challenges
that are given to you at birth, and you overcome it to become one of the most recognizable talents of all time.
You know, so many great actors that we love today, they suffered from dyslexia,
perpetually being shy,
stammers.
Yeah, that's just the beginning of it.
That's right.
So as Yerka has rightfully highlighted, Jones was best known and celebrated for voicing Darth Vader in the original Star Wars film dating back to 1977. I didn't realize it was that old.
Yeah,
because I grew up on it too. He also starred in the sequels, The Empire Strikes Back, and of course, The Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, and he reprised the role in later film releases, including the first installment of the Star Wars anthology series, Rogue One, and the third installment of the sequel trilogy, Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. And both films were released in the later 2010s. Now, to be clear, the actor under that Darth Vader mask in that black cape is not James Earl Jones.
It's not.
Actually.
Right.
A different actor always wore the Darth Vader costume and provided the movement for the villain. Jones simply lent his deep and instantly recognizable
so he's a voice actor.
Voice to the character. So here's a fun fact. He said in a 2012 interview that he loves being part of that whole myth, of that whole cult. The movie, he said he was glad to oblige fans who asked for a command recital of his "I am your father" line. Can you imagine how many times he recited that line
at a certain point? I would want to just record it and play it for the fans.
Yeah.
But I'm sure he was approached quite frequently.
And another interesting fact, he never made much money off of his Darth Vader role.
Is that right?
Only $9,000 for the first film. In fact, at his own insistence, he was not even given credit for his performance. He felt that it was all just another special effect.
Man had it all, even humility.
Right? But get this, when the films broke all box office records, he was persuaded to rethink.
As he should.
Right?
As he should.
Yes. He's also a well-known television performer. He played the older Alex Haley in Roots, The Next Generation. He won one of his 2 Emmys for the lead role in the U.S. drama Gabriel's Fire. His voice was also used in The Simpsons, and he appeared in early episodes of Sesame Street.
Doesn't that kind of blow your mind?
Yeah, I know.
That Darth Vader's on Sesame Street.
I know, right? The iconic
Sesame Street
show.
doesn't really have a
villain. Right. Exactly. He also played many iconic Shakespeare characters on the stage, including Othello and King Lear.
I can see him as King Lear.
Yeah,
I can see him as
sure.
Othello too. All right. A legacy that we must mark.
Yeah. May he rest in peace.
May he rest in peace. All right. Moving along to our second buzzword this morning. If you need an excuse to maybe have one more cup of coffee this morning.
This story's for you, Lena.
This story's for me. I love stories for me. Study shows that coffee is not just good for your soul. There's no science behind that. That's just me. But there is science behind this. Apparently, that extra cup of coffee can keep your skin young and youthful.
We have many coffee lovers on this show. I mean, our producer loves
vindicated.
Coffee. You do too.
And she is so youthful.
Yeah.
So, hey,
yes.
I wish I can show you a picture. Nobody believes her age.
So the study was published in the Journal of Cosmetic Dermatology. The study compared 4 beverages consumed by more than 16,000 Europeans. And those beverages included coffee, tea, alcohol, and sugar-sweetened beverages. And the results showed that coffee was the only drink that showed a significant association with slower aging in facial skin.
That's very interesting. I wonder what aspect of coffee really does that, because it's not caffeine. Absolutely not.
No.
That's probably the poison in the coffee. So what exactly in my cup of coffee helps us slower aging?
It's the coffee's antioxidant properties that can combat oxidative stress and also inflammation as well. I've been seeing a lot of interviews with health experts that say, medical experts that say coffee is also good for your liver as well. Yeah. Anyways, the polyphenols in roasted coffee may improve skin elasticity, hydration. It can also delay wrinkles and other signs of aging. Yay.
I'm going to take this, frame it, take it to all my doctors and be like, hey, look, did you see this research? I'm vindicated.
Yes, it's all about the antioxidants, particularly the polyphenols. Now, these compounds are likely what's driving the anti-aging effects we're seeing in coffee drinkers.
I wonder, does a type of roasted coffee matter too?
Yeah.
Okay, it's not like I can drink anything and call it a day.
And that's a very good question because the answer is yes, first of all. And this is because polyphenols are sensitive to heat. Right? So lighter roasts are more powerful than dark roasts because longer exposure to high temperatures, heat during roasting could destroy polyphenols. Why are you going, you prefer dark roast?
I prefer dark
Same
roast. The darker it is, the better it tastes.
Researchers say they would choose espresso over drip because espresso is more concentrated. As always, moderation and consistency are key to reaping the health benefits of coffee. Researchers say 3 8-ounce cups, that's 250 milliliters of coffee a day, are enough to get the full anti-aging benefits. So 3 cups of coffee a day.
I think I'm done for the day.
Is that like 500 milliliters?
Yeah. And sometimes I have the 1 liter cup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If 500 milliliters plus you can have one more 250.
Just one?
Yeah.
Who says I'm having 250 milliliters? But I get the recommendation.
Yep.
And apparently lighter roast is better, at
Yes.
least for the antioxidant properties.
Yep.
Or I can have blueberries. I know you're trying to help, but I'm just thinking if I
Exactly.
can't get this fixed with coffee,
Yeah,
maybe I can
blueberries.
look for other antioxidant-rich food.
Yes.
And on to our final story today. Now, talk about taking just lemons and turning into a great cup of lemonade. Gimcheon City embraces its humorous mix-up with Gimbap Cheonguk. We'll get to the story in
all
just a
things.
moment. Yes, to launch a Gimbap Festival.
Yeah, so Gimcheon City in Gyeongsang-Bukdo province has announced its plans for a Gimbap Festival. The city actually drew inspiration from the fact that the city's name, Gimcheon, sounds like the shortened version of the name of a popular 분식 snack food chain called Gimbap Cheonguk. Get it?
Yeah.
Gimbap Cheonguk. Gimcheon.
We call it
Yeah.
Gimcheon. We should
Yeah.
abbreviate everything.
So, and many people are going crazy. They're calling this totally creative on social media.
Because it gets your attention,
Yeah.
and Gimbap is clearly still having a moment
Yes,
across the
for sure.
globe, and it's kind of a soul food for all of us,
Yep.
isn't it?
Who doesn't like gimbap?
Right?
Yeah.
Gimbap and ice americano. Everyone knows about it now.
Oh yeah, that's your go-to.
It is.
quick meal.
And our listeners were quick to chime in saying that, hey, no, we get it. A lot of people
Yeah.
do that. It's a thing. It's a cultural thing. Now, when is the 2024 Gimcheon Gimbap Festival going to take place?
Next month,
Okay.
from October 26th to the 27th, it's a 2-day festival. It's taking place at Samyeongdaesa Park in Gimcheon. Now, before organizing this event, the city conducted a survey among millennials and Gen Z to find out what comes to their mind when they hear the name Gimcheon.
They
And
took a
many
survey?
young respondents, as a joke, or some were just, I guess, confused.
Sure.
There was a misunderstanding, associated the city with Gimbap Cheonguk. And the city ended up turning this like playful idea into a full-scale Gimbap themed festival.
You know what? I've got to say,
Right.
we've come a long way since the day and age of doing really like tired and old
Yeah.
festivals. I mean, if you're taking cues from the trendy kind, I think we've acclimated to a whole new chapter.
Yeah, and to promote this festival,
Okay.
the city even renamed its official YouTube channel to Gimcheon City, in brackets, featuring not Gimbap Cheonguk. So Gimcheon-si, brackets featuring Gimbap Cheonguk 아님.
That's funny.
Right?
Yeah. Okay.
Anyways, the festival concept has generated a whole lot of buzz on social media. Users have commented, Gimcheon got lucky thanks to Gimbap Cheonguk. Somebody else wrote, this is genius. I didn't even know where Gimcheon was, but now I want to visit. So
job well
mission
done.
accomplished, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So the festival is going to feature kimbap made with local ingredients. There's also a kimbap cooking festival or contest. 10 teams that pass the preliminaries are going to compete live to make the best kimbap.
And each family has their own recipe, right? I remember my mother used to put so much cucumber, and I thought that was just the way to do it.
My mom made the rice, vinegared rice,
Yeah.
instead of with the sesame oil.
See, everyone
Yeah.
has their own. This is why when the franchise Frozen Kimbap
Yeah.
was trending, most Koreans thought, we're good. Thank you so much, Erica.
Pleasure.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
If you're listening to our program using the podcast service, just a reminder that we do go live Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Korea Standard Time. So tune in and help us make the show more informative by giving us your input. See you bright and early on Good Morning Seoul.